A year ago, 483 players committed out of the Prep Baseball Future Games 316 to Power 4 programs. There were over 400 coaches here in attendance at LakePoint Sports. A whole lot of numbers to tell you. This is an undeniable stage to set the stage for these players' path in their baseball journey. Welcome into LakePoint Sports. I'm Cory McCartney. It's the second window of our Future Games workout day coverage with you, and the first window was so much fun. Back for more. I was joined by a number of prep baseball scouting directors, players, and we have so much more in store for you here over the next 2 hours. So appreciate you joining us. This, of course, like all of our broadcasts, available for free on Facebook, X, and YouTube. And this is just the beginning of our coverage here over the next few days for the Future Games. We'll actually cut to our Future Games broadcast schedule and show you. Yesterday we had Southeast versus Plains out of the Senior Future Games division. You can always go back and watch that on demand on Facebook, X, and YouTube if you're so inclined. Today, the second window of our workout day. Tomorrow, it's our Game of the Day series kicking off. Ohio versus Michigan at 8:30. Friday, Canada versus Maryland at 10 a.m. And Saturday, Indiana versus Missouri at 11:30 a.m. And we'll wrap it up Sunday, championship game coverage of the Junior Future Games. That one is at 2:30 p.m. Mentioned we had a great time during our first window here into the workout day festivities. Was joined in studio here by Mikey Batiste, the #1 player in Ontario, 14th ranked outfielder in the nation, 53rd ranked player in the nation. That's our nation, not his nation. But had a great time with Mikey here in studio. Here's my conversation with a guy back for his second Future Games, that he clearly understands the stakes in the stage that he's walking onto. We are in studio. Mikey Batiste, Ontario's #1 player, 14th player in the outfielder in the nation. That's our nation, by the way.
Yeah,
53rd overall. Mikey, man, I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Back for your second Future Games.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about what's different this time around, knowing that those coaches are looking at you a little bit differently than they did a year ago.
One, I'm way more comfortable. I've done this before. I've lived it before. And it's all about knowing that, I've done it before, and having the confidence to go out there and, swing away. It's knowing that I've done it before. And that's really it. That's the best I can put it. I've done it before, and just to do calm and know that I did my job last year against older competition, and know that I should come in and play against. Now I'm playing against my age. So that's really it.
When I talk to scouting directors who bring that younger guy up, they almost kind of see him as like the foundational piece for the next year, because they can be the guy that can talk to others and be like, hey, this is what the Future Games is like. How did you kind of approach it from that end of almost being like that cornerstone piece for Team Canada?
Right. I've already been most of the players have already asked me how to go last year and what to expect, and what to expect. And I told them it's not Canada is great, yeah, but there's a lot of there's some kids out here that I've never seen before. Now, Canada competition, it's made me a whole better player. And I came down here last year and it opened my eyes, because I was playing 15U and then came here 16U, and it was a big change, and I had to adjust. And that's why I tell people, my teammates here, that you're gonna have to adjust a little bit. It's gonna come on you. It's gonna be pretty quick.
I love that you kind of took us there with the Canadian baseball side, because there were 13 Canadian players taken in this last MLB draft. Carter Beckett, number 26. Mm-hmm. Elliot Lascelles goes 60th by the Padres. 5 Canadians were at the MLB draft combine. Right. Are we giving enough credit here in the United States to Canadian baseball in your eyes?
No. They're no, you guys, it's Canadian baseball players are legit. It's just the weather, and it's just hard to, get them in enough baseball. Canadian players are really legit, and I've played against some amazing players and players I was wow, he's really good, and he could 100% play with the best players in the nation. It's just hard to get some players down here and play enough baseball.
Yeah, and a lot of guys end up having to do the gap year, do the grad year and all that. It's you guys are looking for exposure. And obviously you're here, you're getting that exposure. #1 player in Ontario, again, 53rd ranked player in the nation. It's coming for you. What do you tell those other guys up there that are maybe when's my shot coming, or how do I get on the radar?
Basically what I tell them is just don't even worry about it. It's going to come. You can't force it. It's it's nothing you can do to force a ranking or the exposure. If you play your game, it's gonna come. And that's what I've told most people, as people told me, and I played my game. My thing is I hit balls far. That's my thing. I try to hit balls hard. I do that. That's my job.
You're like that. Remember the Big Allen? I hit dingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mikey Bats. They play. I'm sure that's the nickname, right?
Yeah, Big Mike, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. EV's up to 104.3, bat speed of a ridiculous 85.8, outfield 96 velo. The metrics are absurd. When you look at a showcase environment, what are you looking to do?
I'm looking to show them everything I have. I try to, one starts with a warm up. Like I don't change anything I do from a game. I warm up the same way and I play the same way, basically.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah, just keep it simple. Like don't overthink it. Don't try and get too much in your head. And yeah, there's a bunch of scouts out there, but if it's just, I'll say confidence comes from deliberate practice and past experience. That's what I've been told, like from most of my coaches. And I have the past experience with coming here last year, and then I practice hard. So that's where I get all my confidence from.
Tell me about your path to baseball. Obviously, your dad, Mike, was a Raptors assistant coach, now on his way to Panathinaikos, where he's a Greek Hall of Famer, which is unbelievable. Obviously, basketball, there was probably some pull there. How did you find your way into the game of baseball?
So my older cousin, he played baseball before me. And I had no interest in playing baseball at first. And I remember I went to go visit him and he had these really nice jerseys. And the one thing that stuck out to me was his socks. And I've told the story a bunch of times. His socks were they're awesome to me. I was astonished. And he told me I had to play baseball to get these socks. Mind you, I didn't even live in California at the time, which is where he lives. And I started playing. And it's just been ever since. And the funny part is I have no idea what the socks look like. And he has no idea what the socks look like either. So I can put all my credit to that.
They were destiny.
Yeah.
So tell me though about your dad, what he's taught you about being a professional. Obviously different sports, but what has he taught you about kind of shouldering that load of being a professional?
Definitely like the professional side of everything. Like how the professionals work, how they talk, how they treat other people. Definitely the big thing he's told me is being a good person. The number one thing he's told me is if I were to stop playing baseball today, would I be known as a good person, a good teammate, or a bad person, So that's the number one thing, the number one thing I've took from him. And that's why I try to be as happy as person,
I thought being a coach, he would tell you be coachable.
That would be number one. But that's definitely, he's told me so many things, but I'm not there. There's just so many things I can tell him. We'd be here for an hour. But that's the main thing is being a good person, being coachable. Yeah.
Tell me the Ontario take on Drake.
He is, he's one of the number one people out there. He's my favorite artist as well, and he wasn't my favorite artist before moving to Canada. That's all I can say. Is basically that's how it is. That's how influential he is out there.
What do you miss about the Great White North when you're down here playing ball?
Oh, the weather. The weather in Canada is it's depressing almost. It's like you'll wake up one day, it's nice. I remember in the spring is when it's really when it's annoying because you'll wake up one day, it'll be 70 degrees, which is 20 degrees or something like that in Celsius. You wake up the next morning, it's snowing. It's just how it is. And it's rough because I gotta change, it's you gotta get used to your clothes and everything. Now you gotta switch to a big old puffer jacket. So it's, and then obviously the snow and hard, you can't play any high school baseball. Yeah. So that's the one thing is the weather. It's rough.
All right. One thing I know is Mikey can handle himself. We're gonna play a little random questions here with Mikey Batiste. Number 25, what's the worst baseball smell?
Bags. Some sweaty bags that, especially, I don't mean to diss on my sister. My sister plays hockey and baseball.
Hockey's the worst.
Hockey bag, it's bad. Yeah. I could be sitting in the front seat, I can smell it from the back seat.
Yep. Yeah, a hockey locker room is a very specific smell that if you have to experience it to ever be able to understand how how just musty
it's bad.
Yeah.
She started playing last year, and it was like, oh my God, it was insane.
Well, you should tell your parents you're welcome that you didn't play hockey.
Oh yeah, because I sweat a lot. Definitely.
All right, number 67. What's the first thing you look at after a tournament ends?
I would say like stats. I would say my average.
Okay.
I would say average, definitely average, and my quality ABs, definitely. That's like the number one thing. So I try to draw a lot of walks, and quality ABs kind of correlates with that.
What about a showcase? Is it hard hit rate? Or what do you?
EV. Yeah. EV. That's definitely the number one thing I look at.
Max EV or average EV?
I would say more max. Average EV will be there, but that's the 1-2 things I look at is average and max.
All right, last one, number 81. What's one baseball opinion that would get you roasted in the comments?
I would say pit vipers are extremely ugly. I don't like pit vipers. They don't look. I guess like a lot of young kids use them, but pit vipers are not quality. They're not professional at all.
Oh, I'm going to pander and give you one too. That Jose Bautista has the greatest bat flip.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I watched that clip. Like they show that clip a lot out there. So
they do.
I see it at least 3 times a month.
So I was covering the Braves when he kind of had like his last little run there when we got to be around him. That dude is that's a different breed of animal right there.
Oh my God. I wish I was there to see that, like that bat flip. When was that? I don't know. I was living somewhere, but it's definitely a big staple out there in Ontario and Canada as a whole.
You know, that's an iconic moment.
Oh, 100%.
They're talking about foundation. That's a foundational moment for Toronto baseball. Mikey, man, that was great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck at Future Games, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
We're going to take a break here in studio. We'll be back. You are watching the Future Games Workout Day. Welcome back. Great stuff from Mikey Bautista. Cannot wait to see him in action. He's going to be part of our Game of the Day series. We'll have him and Canada taking on Maryland. So excited to see them in action. And again, exciting team that he's part of there in Canada. So I know those guys ready to show up and show out and got something to prove here on the Featured Game stage. You can see we got our workouts underway on one of the fields, just getting things going on a couple other ones. Maybe you see some guys running in the outfield in the top left corner there, but got BP underway as well. So plenty of action going on across the fields here. I'm going to take a break here in studio. I'm going to throw it to our Road to the Future Games series. Had an opportunity to talk to a number of the scouting directors about the teams that they were bringing here to LakePoint Sports. And while we're on the topic of Canada, let's bring in Josh Arce, and Josh is going to take us through the team from the Great White North coming down here from Canada. And again, we'll hear a little bit more about Mikey Bautista as Josh Arce breaks down Team Canada's Future Game squad. The Road to the Future Games runs straight to LakePoint Sports, where July 22nd through 25th, the top uncommitted players in the United States and Canada will show up and show out for the hundreds of College of Coaches in attendance. And it's apropos that I say Canada as we welcome in Prep Baseball Canada Director Josh Arce. Josh, good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Corey.
You're welcome. A year ago, 4 Canadians committed out of the Future Games to Power 4 powerhouses, Kansas State, Michigan, USC, and Texas. There were 5 such players the year before that. The opportunity, the payoff are undeniable. What is your message to the players when you extend those invitations?
Yeah, obviously the message is that there's a big opportunity here for them to play in front of hundreds of college coaches, all in one complex over a 4-day span. So the message is that they're here for a reason and to go show out what they've been doing all summer, just with a few more eyes on them.
We'll turn our attention to 4 players who will be in attendance repping the Great White North and begin with day 1 starter on the mound, Ontario's Lucien Kovalchik. Ontario's second-ranked player, fastball teetering toward 90 at 6'4", 180 pounds. Prep Baseball President Sean Duncan likes to say a bell rings each time a pitcher hits 90 at the Future Games. Is Lucien about to ring that bell?
I think he is about to ring that bell, and I think it's going to be a couple ticks higher than 90. It's a massive frame on the mound. He moves so well. Smooth mover, really quick arm. He's going to show some pitchability in his couple innings as well. He's got 3 pitch mix. All of them are for strikes. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be a couple ticks north of 90, in my opinion. So there should be a good sea of college coaches behind home plate while he's on the mound. And we're definitely looking forward to day one against Pennsylvania.
Next up, we hit Alberta for outfielder and right-handed pitcher Ethan Renault out of Okotoks Dogs Academy. Exit velos up to 102.9, outfield velo to 96 or 106.5 EV, and 154 outfield velo if we're being internationally friendly and talking about kilometers. Regardless, this 2024 junior future gamer has all the tools to open some eyes.
He really does, and he's been on the national stage here in Canada for the last few years. Like you said, the Junior Future Games also has some national tournaments, the Ray Carter Cup at the Rogers Center. So he's sort of done it all at sort of a young age, and I think this is definitely going to be that coming out party for him for all of the schools south of the border. He's been on a tear this summer, arguably one of the best hitting lineups in the country here in Canada. So we're definitely looking forward to watching him throughout the workout, and he's a bat to follow throughout gameplay as well.
Two more outfielders, Ontario's Mikey Batiste and British Columbia's Jake Carrier. Batiste, Ontario's '1 player, has some absurd numbers, EVs north of 104, a bat speed of 85.8, and a 96 arm from the outfield. Carrier runs a 6.9 60, and this Abbotsford lefty has a bat that screams impact.
Yeah, Batiste was a guy who we had last year as an underager at the Future Games, and his stuff just continues to trend up. I mean, it's a massive frame, but he patrols center field very well. He was in center field for us last year at the Future Games, and he just glides out there, glides to the ball in the gaps, covers so much ground with those big strides. And I mean, the numbers at the plate speak for themselves. The BP is going to be special. It's going to be fun to watch. And he carries that into gameplay with, I mean, last year he hit a backside home run in our game 2 against Maryland. So I would expect more power for him this year, and even being more comfortable at the plate with last year already under his belt. And with Carrier, it's left on left, athletic, lead off to center field profile, a guy who's performed out west for against his age and against older competition. So he's a guy that we're definitely looking forward to having down. West Coast Super sophomore alumni last year, and was one of the top players at that event. So he'll attract some tension for sure at the Future Games, and should be a player to watch over the 4 days.
Well, Josh, appreciate it and excited to see the best that Canada has to offer here at the Future Games.
Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney now joined by Mason Clark out of Fossil Ridge playing for Colorado here at the Future Games. Mason, man, appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we're in the middle of workout day. What's been on the menu for you so far?
So far we haven't started anything yet.
Okay.
But ahead, I believe we run, hit, and do fielding. So yeah.
What's your preparation workout day? Do you have how do you mentally approach a showcase?
How I mentally prepare for the showcase, I just try and stay calm, get a few days of rest, hit, take a few ground balls, run a bit of sprints, and just mentally prepare myself.
8th ranked player in Colorado, 4th ranked shortstop. Are you more of a showcase guy or a game guy?
I'm a game guy, I'd say for sure. I mean, I'd say I run a good 60. I'd say that translates well to the game. I steal a lot of bases, so.
We got you at a 6.72. What's your goal today?
My goal, I'm gonna try and run a 6.5.
Okay. What's been the preparation to get you to a 6.5?
I've been working out a lot of legs in the gym and doing a lot of plyometric stuff. And I've been running sprints like 3 times a week, so yeah.
EV's 99.4, bat speed is 74.1. What's the next evolution for you as a hitter?
I'm gonna try and reach for over 100-mile-an-hour exit velocity
Today. We're landing a lot today. All right, so you guys got Pacific Northwest on Thursday, Minnesota on Friday, Midwest on Saturday. Tell me about the pitchers that you guys are rolling out there. Nick Dubrovsky going to start stuff off for you. Tell me about the big arm you guys are rolling out to start things on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Dubrovsky, he's a great arm. He plays with me in the summer circuit as well. Yeah, great dude, great arm. Yeah, great off speed, good fastball. It's up to 90, 91. So yeah, excited to play defense behind him.
Have you faced him in a game before?
I've not. It's something to be had done. So, yeah.
How would you fare?
I think I'd get it off him.
Do you?
That's so great.
Obviously, this environment speaks for itself. Tomorrow, you can see a little bit now while we're watching here. There's some coaches in the background. The Senior Feature Games action's got a little bit more. How do you compartmentalize what this event is without it kind of getting to your head?
I mean, I just try and live pitch by pitch, try to not think too much about outside noise and just try and really focus on myself and helping the team out. So yeah,
it's like, so Dom Toretto says you live life a quarter mile at a time. That's how you approach baseball. Right. I love that.
Yes, sir.
All right, tell me about baseball in Colorado. Obviously, a state where maybe guys are fighting for attention a little bit more than they are in other states. How do you see Colorado baseball, and how should we see Colorado baseball?
I think Colorado baseball is very underrated. I think there's a lot of talent that does not get seen out in Colorado. Obviously, the competition is maybe not as good as it is in Georgia or the South. There's places like that, but I think Colorado should be seen as definitely a better state than it is. We just have better baseball than what it's approach this.
You have better views than we do here too, so I'm way out there. Mason, man, I appreciate it. Good luck out there, man. Thank you so much. Break It Studio. We'll be back with more from the Future Games workout day. That's Nick Dubrovsky. Nick Dubofsky, we're going to get through it. Nick Dubofsky, third-ranked player in Colorado, going to be taking the mound on Thursday for game action. Nick, you're at the Future Games. We've seen the velo into the 90s. Sean Duncan likes to say, if you hit 90 at the Future Games, a bell rings. Tell me about the game plan for you when you take the mound in this event.
I'm super excited, first of all, and I think my goal is just to go get ahead early in counts. I trust my stuff. I know that I throw a good slider. I know that I have good pitches, and I think that a good, big focus for me and something that'll really dictate my success is my ability to get into positive counts early.
2,800 spin on that slider. Tell me, if I'm standing in the box, what's that pitch doing?
It moves a lot, and really, when I can throw it for a strike and land it consistently, I feel really confident in myself, and it's a good pitch to get hitters out.
Tell me about the rest of the arsenal. Fastball again into the 90, got the changeup 77 to 79, curveball 70 72. What's working with the other pitches?
Four-seam fastball has some run on it, and that's just been really helpful to throw my changeup off of it, which has developed a lot since my last PBR event. So I'm really excited to showcase that. And then obviously the slider's gotten better as time has gone on. So I'm excited to continually showcase what my ability is.
Mark, flip a ball over here. We're gonna get the you're gonna take me through the grips real quick while we've got you. I didn't even think about it. When you have a pitcher in here, you got to go through all the grips. So take into the camera there. Take me through the grips and what you do pronation.
Four-seam fastball, fingers together, just feels like I get more pure backspin off of it. Slider, slider and two-seam have the same grip.
Oh, okay.
This ball's right here. Just how I focus on slider, I try to get around it more. Two-seam, I try to stay behind it. Then my changeup, I spike my middle finger. So there, and then I try to make sure that my thumb is on the side of the baseball.
How did you work that to get to the point where you were throwing the spike? Because I know some guys don't like that. Some guys like to have separation. I've seen some guys will actually lift their finger so they can go over top. How did you kind of land on that grip?
Well, I used to throw my changeup like this, and I just felt like it wasn't getting enough downward movement. So once I've added the spike, I feel like it comes off better at the very end.
That slider grip's interesting too. To throw it exactly like you throw a two-seam. How did that kind of evolve for you?
So my curveball, freshman spring was not very good and it wasn't as consistent as I wanted to be. So I was looking at Paul Skeens actually. He throws a slider like this with his fingers spaced apart. So I was messing with that, and eventually we just got to a point where I decided to put my fingers together, and it's been a good pitch ever since.
If it's good enough for Paul Skeens, it's good enough for you, right?
Yeah.
6'4", 202 pounds. What's the grocery bill like at the Dubofsky
I don't
household?
do my grocery shopping, but it's a lot. It's been a big focus for me these last couple of years, trying to get bigger and put on weight and then sustain that weight throughout the summer season. And I think it's been really helpful for my durability and my ability to recover from outings. One
thing I talk about with the scouting directors is you can look at a frame and you can say, okay, you can dream on that frame. If a kid is 6'4", 180 pounds, then I can pack pounds onto that frame and get more velo. When you're already the size you are, how do you make Evo jumps or velo jumps? I'm talking about that. How do you make velo jumps at your size when there's probably not the ability to pack on a lot more pounds?
I think for me it's a strength thing.
Yeah.
I have to get stronger and mobility as well. And I think my goal is to put on some more weight here by next spring. I would like to be like 220 pounds. So wow. I still think there's something to come there.
You do play football?
I do not play football.
They're gonna think you're a tight end if you put that much weight on. Yeah. Is Skeens the guy that you've kind of modeled yourself after? Have you gravitated towards him when you're looking at guys and kind of their mound presence, how they command the strike zone?
I really like Paul Skeens. I really like watching Brian Wu throw as well.
Okay.
They're all guys with lower arm slots that I think represent similar to me, and I think that's helped me model my arsenal.
94.2 EVs at the plate. Are you a pitcher or are you an athlete?
I'm a pitcher. I'm not hitting down here. I hit from my high school.
Yeah.
That's about it. I like hitting, but I'm a little bit better at
It's interesting you say that, because there's a lot of guys who they'll get to a point where they kind of have to, the game has to tell them that they do one thing in there. Did you let that happen, or did you just kind of tell yourself, I think I'm better suited to primarily be a pitcher?
So for the summer circuit, I just said I think I'm a better pitcher, and I really want focus for this. But going back to what you were talking about with Mason about Colorado high school baseball, I'd say for Colorado, the top end talent's there, and we have a ton of really special kids. Like Ethan Washington was just the 74th pick in the draft. Multiple other kids got picked out of Colorado. I just think it's the depth that's where we kind of lack as a state, and I think that that's why some kids who focus on pitching during the summer still have to hit for their high schools, because there's just not the depth.
What do you see an event like this providing for you? Obviously, there's exposure. Do you see it more as that, or do you see it as about a proving ground for you to show you belong?
I think it's more of the second thing, the proving ground. This is my first major PBR event. I didn't go to Super Sophomore last year. And I think I've gone a lot better in this past calendar year. So I think this is really an opportunity to show not just like other people, but myself, that I really belong here and that I'm really one of the better players in the country.
I love it. Nick Dubofsky, excited to see him in action. Thank you so much, man. Good luck out there. We'll take a break in studio. You're watching the Future Games Workout Day.
There's nothing more important for your organization than the look and functionality of where your team spends most of their time. Here at Netting Pros and Stadionic, we create iconic facilities that exceed industry standards and become the headline of your organization. We've worked with dozens of the top leagues, collegiate programs, and professional baseball organizations.
We are here at Clemson University to build our second baseball field on a football field.
And having that partner with Netting Pros to be able to look at that and say, how can we make this happen that can be great for fans, great for the experience, and they nailed it.
We have customized solutions for whatever your needs may be to help every aspect of your project, bringing facilities to life.
You got to make sure that we're having the top premier product. We want the best for our guys.
Without great partnerships and collaboration with Netting Pros, we wouldn't be able to pull this off.
We're confident that your venue will stand above the rest and your vision for the future will be made into a reality.
The success of every athlete depends on their instincts and split-second decision-making skills. S2 Cognition delivers the leading digital evaluation that is scientifically validated to measure these cognitive abilities that have been unquantifiable until now. The S2 eval is designed to analyze how athletes see, think, and react to in-game split-second decisions. So how does S2 work? The S2 eval is a 30 to 45-minute sports-specific digital evaluation that measures an athlete's cognitive skills and instincts. The eval is uniquely designed for each sport to capture the split-second decisions made in the game. The S2 score report is automatically generated after the eval, with data that provides a complete picture of the athlete's cognitive skills. These results will unlock opportunities for athletes, coaches, athletic directors, scouts, and general managers. It's time to know your game so that you can build to win.
All right, we go from Mason Clark to Nick Dubofsky to now Colorado Director of Scouting, Mark Wagner. Appreciate the time, man.
You bet, man. Thanks for having me. I always like to talk about our Colorado guys.
So this is 3 players with national rankings on this squad. All top 10 players in the class are here to represent Colorado in the future games. What does that mean to you to get all top 10 players in the state?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's the first time we've actually had that opportunity to get all of the top 10 guys that signed up and came and were available to come and not injured or whatever else. So, it's good. I think we're going to have a pretty strong class, hoping to open some eyes. Sure likes to say that Colorado always runs out some big right-handed guy on day 3 that's throwing 90, and to be honest, I think we'll have that again this year. Yeah.
Had Nick in here talking about his arsenal, his expectations. What are your expectations for a big guy like that that's into the 90s? Obviously, that's going to open some eyes, the frame, but what's going to entice the coaches when they see the arsenal?
For sure, and what Nick didn't tell you is he's like a 4.3 or 4.4 weighted GPA guy. So Nick Dubofsky literally should have an opportunity at just about any school he wants to. I know he's going to make the right decisions and use his academics to, get all he can out of baseball. I feel like the sky's the limit for that guy. He also was really nice to me. We didn't invite him to the Super Sophomores last year. He came to the state games, and I've known him a little bit before that, and he walked right up to me at check, and he's like, "Hey, you know why I'm here?" And I was like, "No, but I'm glad you are." One of those kind of things. Like, I'm here to show you that you're wrong to not take me to the Super Sophomores. And I think he was 88, 89 that day. Again, like just a sophomore. Then you see the body and all that. So I apologized and made sure that we didn't make that mistake in the future.
I was talking to Brett Harrison, West Coast Scouting Director, about Thomas Shank, number 1 player in Colorado, Rock Canyon, 53rd ranked outfielder in the nation, 244 overall, bat speed almost a triple digits. EV is almost a triple digits, bat speed is 72. Special player for you guys.
Yeah, like Thomas can do it, man. Like he's ready to play right now. At certain programs he'd probably be in the starting lineup next year.
Wow.
He's very polished. His brother plays college baseball. He just knows. He's been there. He's done that. It's an advanced hitting approach. The bat speed's there. The run tool's there. He can throw. He can field. Like he's a really special player. He's a guy that I think is going to open a lot of eyes. And I know a lot of people have probably already seen him because he's had an amazing summer. But if you haven't seen him, he's definitely a guy to come check out.
Travis Ken's number 2 in the state. Guy who was here for the 24 junior feature games.
Yep.
When you see a guy that's progressed, that you want to bring him back, what does that do for a scouting director when you're like, I was right?
I mean, you don't want to sit there and toot your own horn because I've been wrong enough times too throughout my career, but it's satisfying.
Yeah.
Just watch him, and as he's developed, as he's learned to play the game more and more. The tools obviously have always been there. But now you watch him play, and it's like, hey, this is a guy who's ready to play college baseball. He understands the game. He understands about angles and that kind of thing. At shortstop, he can catch the ball. He makes all the plays. Again, another guy who takes a good at bat all the time, is a tough out, is willing to go the other way if he has to, things like that. So, he's a guy that I think Owen Morgan was here a couple years ago, played at Oregon or went to Oregon. He reminds me a lot of him. I've used that comp with several scouts, and everybody remembers that guy. So I think you're going to see Kent's is going to blow up as soon as we get out of here. I think his phone's going to be very busy.
Kai Wagner, 4th in the state. Fastball to 91, changeup 83-84, curveball 74-78, slider 76-83, and EV's up to 101.4 with a 77.3 bat speed. And he runs a 6.64 and has an outfield velo of 92. Who is this player? What is this player going to be?
Kai is an athlete. He is a special athlete. He'll be a pitcher at the next level. But he's the kind of guy, if you're recruiting him and you think, how much better can he get? Well, athletes always get better, right? He's a fast arm kid. He's a thin body. You compare him to Dubovsky, and they're totally different types of bodies. But again, the arm speed is great. When he gets strong and fills out, and his dad is a monster of a guy too. That guy is probably going to be the next, big right-handed draft out of Colorado, would be my guess. Because I think there's still a lot of upside. He's good, very good now. I think you're going to see him take big steps in the next couple of years as he fills out, gets stronger, and maybe even just focuses on pitching more. But the athleticism is real too, so it's hard to tell a guy like that not to do other things.
Connor Thrush will be behind Dubovsky on Thursday, 5th ranked righty in Colorado, 13th overall. He's 98th among all righties in the nation. Fastball up to 90. He's also pushing EVs at 98.6. Tell me about this arm.
So Connor was a guy that as a freshman, I think he was touching 88, 89.
Wow.
So there's not been the big jump there. I think he's had a little bit of arm trouble. I've heard, and I haven't seen him for a while, I've heard this summer he's back on it. His arm's healthy. Seems to be turning it loose. I've been told we might see some 92s out of him this weekend, so hopefully that's true. But another guy, like a good athlete, has played a lot of different positions, runs enough, hits enough. And again, in Colorado, like Dubovsky and Mason both talked about, you kind of end up doing everything because we don't have tons of depth in our state. So it's another guy that if I'm recruiting, I can dream on, hey, when Connor is just a pitcher, what's that upside going to look like? I think it's going to be pretty good. Again, a great athlete with a quick arm.
16 years of collegiate coaching experience for you. How would you have treated an event like this?
Oh, it would have been great. I wish we would have had it when I was back in it, because you can come out and just, every field, and you watch what happens around here. Guys go from field to field to field, and something catches your eye, and you sit there and you lock in, and it's just like 90 miles an hour here, 89 with, quick arm, loose act, great actions, good arm action here. And then you walk over there and you see a guy steal a base and you're like, whoa, that's quite an athlete. The hardest part, I think, is like figuring out where do you stick and who do you focus on. It's almost like, if you have too many choices, if you ask your wife where she wants to eat and you give her 10 choices, it's like, well, what the heck? You have to give them 2 choices, So that'd probably be the hardest part, is figuring out like, who do I sit on? Who am I going to sit there and watch? But as far as just bringing the top talent in the country to one spot, it's amazing what we do. And I think you can tell by the hundreds of coaches that are here that obviously they appreciate our efforts.
I do wonder, though, how it's changed, because there's obviously this is the first year where there's nobody committed, so everybody potentially could be here. How that kind of changes the dynamic, because there's going to be players here who 2-3 years ago wouldn't have been here. And those are the guys that, the LSUs and the Arkansas, those are going to gravitate. If you're at a smaller school, how do you lock into a player in this environment when everybody's here?
I think when you're at a smaller school, you're here just to kind of gather intel, right? And there's always guys, there's somebody for everybody here. And that's one of the things that I really like about the event. And maybe somebody from a mid-major needs to come to watch Colorado, because we will be a lot less recruited than South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, places like that. So, if I was here at a mid-major role, I'd probably lock in on the Minnesota guys, the Iowa guys, the Colorado guys, because everybody who's here has a lot of tools and a lot of talent, a lot of ability. And you talked about it earlier. Our top 10 guys are here for the first time ever. If we look deeper, I think we have our top 13 or 14 guys are all here. So, there's no lack of talent. The good news is, if you're at a smaller school, like LSU can't take everybody, Tennessee can't take everybody. So, I think you got to look for that guy. And again, when you're at the smaller schools, which I was always at, you got to look for the guy that's more projectable, maybe 85, 86, but quick arm action, or good arm action, smaller, skinnier body or whatever. I mean, that's where the art comes in more than the science. So I don't think recruiting's changed as far as that goes, but I think that, what this event does do is it gets all these kids an opportunity to be seen by all the different levels, and then they get the chance to figure out what the fit is, how do I get on the field, things like that. I mean, that's the big change in college baseball today, right? You've got to go get on the field.
Yeah.
You can't go sit for a year as a freshman somewhere, or a freshman and sophomore, and then maybe get a chance at the end of that sophomore year. You got to go somewhere and find the school where you can make an impact immediately. So, that's the beauty of this from the player standpoint, is there is a place for everybody. There's all the levels represented where you can find that place where you can go get on the field right away.
So you said something I want to touch on. You said there's an art to this. When you've been at a smaller school, do you feel like it gives you the ability to find those gems more so than somebody that can be like, okay, that kid's undeniable?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I won't name names, but a good friend of mine that I actually had coached when he was a younger guy, he became a recruiting coordinator at a Power 5 school. And he told me straight up, hey, your job's a lot harder than mine. I go out and find a guy that I know is going to get drafted, and we can recruit him. He's like, well, you don't have that opportunity. So, it just comes back to, you've got to figure out what are the things that you value, what are the tools that you can work with and improve as a coach, and then, what kind of person, what kind of attitude, what kind of, academics can you get, all those kinds of things. But, yeah, you just have to look at it a little bit differently depending on what level you're at. So, again, I took 3 guys over my career, all played professionally. 2 of them made it to the big leagues, who I watched one guy throw from center field, I watched one guy throw from shortstop, and they became pitchers at our place. So it was just kind of, you just have to pay attention and be able to think outside the box and be willing to project guys. And that's, I think that's the opportunity that these guys have here. And, I told them before the workout starts, hey, you don't know who's watching, and you don't know what they're watching, you don't know what they're looking for. So give it all you have a great attitude, have a great experience at whatever you do. And, if you're talented enough, they'll find you.
Is that your primary message, having been there and done that on the recruiting side, to the kids and how to approach an event like this?
100%. We talk a lot about, there's 100 reasons to like a guy, and there's 100 reasons to not like a guy. So your goal is to make sure that you're on the right side of the ledger, right? And so what are the things? What are the things that a college coach is going to care about? Well, he's going to care about, honestly, if you're 87-mile-an-hour right-handed guy, there's a lot of 87-mile-an-hour right-handed guys. You can look at any field out there, you'll see that. So how do you stick out, and then how do you make that decision of, what's the right place for me if I am an 87-mile-an-hour right-hander, right? So it's, it's about the attitude, it's about the intensity, it's about having a great effort and things like that maybe are the intangibles that we used to talk about, because, the metrics take you so far, but when I'm going to build a team, I'm looking for the right kind of person too, and the person who's going to fit in with my program.
You guys have PNW on Thursday, Minnesota on Friday, Midwest on Saturday. Do you have anything going with Dan Jurgich and
Well, of course, yeah, absolutely. So PNW is going to run some 6'7" right-handed guy. You can tell me because I'm sure you've looked.
Yeah.
They're going to run some 6'7" right-handed guy out of us at the first inning. He's going to throw 94. And all my kids are going to be like, well, I didn't know they even played baseball in Oregon. I'm telling you, man. They're good every year. Dan makes the right calls, and he's got the right guys that show up. And PNW will be good. Well, actually, Minnesota will be good. Midwest is always tough.
Now you're going to make me look and see who they actually are.
Yeah, check that out for me.
All right, they're going.
Get a little scouting report going there.
All right, they're going with Tate Tuanuga.
I'm sure Tate's plenty good.
He is 6'5", 190.
What a surprise! A 6'5" right-handed guy.
But he only throws 88. So
yeah, he only threw 88.
His slider with 2,500.
He threw 88 at the last event he was at.
Well, that was in 2025.
Yeah.
In 23,
he'll be 92 tomorrow.
In 23, he had a slider with over 2,500 spin.
Oh, he'll be good. Like, those guys always pitch. And that's kind of one of the things that we think about, or I think about a lot, is the cold weather states, or the states that are kind of outside of the, traditional baseball places. We all develop pitchers. Like Colorado will have guys that will be able to pitch. We'll get some guys excited about our arms. It's harder to develop a hitter because it takes a lot of at-bats and things like that. But you can develop a pitcher inside. You can develop a pitcher a lot of different places. So if you watch, like Minnesota will always have arms. PNW always has arms. Colorado will have arms. The Chicago area always has tons of arms. And I really think there's something to the whole inside, outside, all that kind of thing. Yeah, Mitch
Haythorn. I remember talking Mitch. Yeah, just absolute nasty slider. What was his? I'm trying to remember what hit. Yeah, he was just absolute. I mean, that was just filthy stuff from him.
He threw some of the nastiest sliders I've maybe ever seen. He was just wipeout slidering guys. The shooter's comment was he pitched to punish that day, and he did. He was making guys look silly.
When you bring a guy like that ends up being the most valuable pitcher, what does that do for a state?
It's awesome because obviously it's great for Mitch, it's great for his high school, his club program, whatever, but it also kind of brings the spotlight back to Colorado. And, I don't mean to harp on that, but we've all got a little spot in us.
Sure.
Like, we want to prove that, like, Colorado baseball is legitimate. And like Nick said, our top-end guys are as good as anybody's top-end guys. So that brings the focus to Colorado, and people pay attention to that. Like, hey, in the entire tournament with all these kids from all these different places, Mitch Haythorn from a 3A high school, a town of, I think, 8,000 or 9,000, was the most valuable pitcher of the whole entire event. So, there's a lot to be said for that, and I think we've gotten a lot of mileage out of that, honestly.
Yeah, and I love the states that feel like that, because obviously being here in Georgia and Metro Atlanta, I mean, we see, all day long teams rolling out, 4 or 5 Power 4 commitments every time we see a team come out. But when they have a group of kids that come down here with an edge, we just finished a 17U national championship yesterday. We had the Academy Baseball of Canada team come down here.
Sure.
You talk about kids with something to prove. Those kids, they won, and then they're out there singing "Oh Canada" together while they're jumping up and down on the field. And I mean, that is something to prove.
Well, that's another place where they'll run some arms out there that are like eye-opening. And, cold weather place, but those guys can pitch. And there's a lot of Canadian arms on college rosters for sure.
Who's the best player you've ever personally scouted?
The best player I've ever scouted? I don't know. That's a great question. As far as Kyle Freeland went to Evansville when I was a recruiting coordinator there. We recruited him. He was a first rounder, so that was pretty good. 8th pick overall, I think. So that was probably the best guy that I ever got. But I mean, you do it long enough, and you've seen a little bit of everybody.
Sure.
I mean, I remember Lucas Giolito at East Cobb, actually, however many years ago that was. And I think he was 15 or 16. He was 93, like every pitch. Guys had their radar guns up, and I'm a little bit of a loudmouth. And I was just like, hey, you guys can put the radar down. Like, he's throwing plenty hard, And he was a big body. Like, he looked big league ready. I think he was 16 that year. So, there's some guys that just jump off the page at you, and it's pretty hard to miss them. Again, everybody can see that.
Sure.
The ones that are more satisfying is the kid like a Mitch Haythorn, where it's like, kind of out of nowhere, Eaton, Colorado, and he comes out here and just dominates, the best hitters in the country. So,
and I think that's what it kind of sets prep baseball apart. Now that I'm trying to turn this into an infomercial, but Shooter and I talk all the time about the boots on the ground.
Sure.
And you guys having those relationships, the understanding, and how a player grows. For you to be able to pick a Mitch Haythorn out and bring him here to this event, to have him give him the opportunity.
It's really cool to see the kids come to your events when they're 15. It's like they do some things that are almost like baby giraffes in some ways, and just to watch them develop and they get better, and you kind of make a note in your mind like, whoa, this kid's going to be special someday. Like, you can see it before the kid even knows it sometimes, and that's really cool. And then you get a Mitch and you bring him out here, and he's the most valuable pitcher, and then he goes to the Super 60 and he goes to Oklahoma, and it's just like, wow. Yeah, it's really satisfying. It really is.
Yeah, I remember running into him at Super 60, and he was just, talk about, he was thrilled to be there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's part of the Colorado thing too. We do have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder or an edge, but we also don't take any of that stuff for granted. Like when our guys get an opportunity to go show themselves on a national stage, like they take it and they're excited. And like our guys in the next 3 days, I think they're going to be locked in. I think they're going to be just thrilled for the opportunity. I mean, there's more scouts out here than they've ever seen anywhere, anytime in Colorado. I can promise you that.
Is there anything on the table though for you and the PNW guys in that game? Anything maybe like the Gentlemen's League game?
Well, last year Dan made me throw BP to his guys.
Oh, okay.
He gave me some flags, and I'm like, come on, man. So I threw BP, which I will say was amazing, immaculate, and then they came out and just like smashed it around on us the whole day. So I guarantee I'm not throwing BP for him this year.
Well, maybe just throw secondary stuff. Right?
Maybe I'll just throw a bunch of dirt.
Yeah, there you
Get
go.
them frustrated.
That's right.
Get them chasing.
All right, Mark Wagner, man. Listen, I appreciate it.
Thanks
Enjoy
for
the
having
future
me, man.
games. We're going to take a break in studio. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
At First Form, we help real people earn real long-term results. It doesn't matter if you're working out at home, you just started in the gym, or you're competing in the largest arenas around the world. Our full line of nutritional supplements are second to none and designed to fuel your journey every step of the way. With our industry-leading 110% money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Visit firstform.com today and let us help you reach your goals.
There's nothing more important for your organization than the look and functionality of where your team spends most of their time. Here at Netting Pros and Stadionic, we create iconic facilities that exceed industry standards and become the headline of your organization. We've worked with dozens of the top leagues, collegiate programs, and professional baseball organizations.
We are here at Clemson University to build our second baseball field on a football field.
And having that partner with Netting Pros to be able to look at that and say, how can we make this happen that can be great for fans, great for the experience, and they nailed it.
We have customized solutions for whatever your needs may be to help every aspect of your project, bringing facilities to life.
You got to make sure that we're having the top premier product. We want the best for our guys.
Without great partnerships and collaboration with Netting Pros, we wouldn't be able to pull this off.
We're confident that your venue will stand above the rest and your vision for the future will be made into a reality.
Been a great time so far. Appreciate Mark Wagner, Prep Baseball Colorado, bringing a couple of his guys through here and spending some time with us to go through that Colorado roster. And speaking of Colorado, I also got to catch up with Andy Urban, the Central Region Scouting Supervisor, who's in charge of Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma, to talk about all the teams that his states are bringing here to the Future Games. This is the Road to the Future Games with Andy Urban. The Heartland, home to Red Rocks, Route 66, and some of the best barbecue you'll ever have, though nobody from Texas, Tennessee, or the Carolinas wants to hear that. It's the next stop on our road to the Future Games, the Central Region, and we welcome in Scouting Supervisor Andy Urban. Andy, man, good to see you.
So glad to be on with you today, Corey. Excited to talk about some players.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The next iteration of the Future Games, July 22nd through 25th here at LakePoint Sports. And the Central Region has a history of making a statement at this stage. Andy, 3 times the states you oversee, Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma, have had the most valuable player or the most valuable pitcher. Last year, there were combined 44 commits come out of your region's teams. What's the excitement level for you as you just sit days away from the 2026 Future Games?
What's exciting for me is just seeing some of these guys who we've known since they were 13 or 14 years old grow, become the players they are, and really get to put them on a national scale. We've got some great tournaments in the middle of the country. We get to see these guys ourselves, but it's just really exciting when we get to put them in front of the country and let them shine.
We're going to attack this thing alphabetically and start off with Arkansas, bringing the #1 player in the state, Brooks Robinson, out of Greene County Tech. Fastball into the 90s, and the former junior feature gamer making some real noise with a slider. Meanwhile, Blaine Van Hilsen, #3 in the state, coming off of an incredible high school season. Resume included an 11K no-hitter as well as a complete game gem to clinch a state title.
Yeah, so Arkansas, I would argue, is going to have one of the best staffs, if not the best pitching staff at the entire event. You can go through guy by guy, name by name, and find something to love about each of them. Brooks, super physical, 6'3", effortless delivery. He's going to be in the low 90s. It's just what you look for when you're looking for a workhorse starter at the next level. People are going to sit and watch him and really fall in love with what he does, paired with that slider that just continually gets swings and misses. There's just not a lot to not like about Brooks. Van Hilsen, it's the ultimate competitor. The guy wins baseball games. He did it all spring, all summer, maturity much beyond his years, knows how to pitch, and he's just going to keep getting better as he adds strength to that frame, and that velo is going to keep ticking up with that clean arm action.
Colorado, anchored by its #1 player, Thomas Shank. Every metric that you could want, the Rock Canyon products got it. 99.4 EV, runs a 6'7", 88 outfield arm. And then there's Big Nolan Taylor, 6'4", fastball up to 93, nearly 2,400 spin on the curveball, and that guy's going to be a handful.
Yeah, so Shank is what you want as a center fielder at the next level. Not only are the metrics right, he plays the game. It's not a showcase pony. It's a guy who really knows how to take those tools and make them produce in game. He's a no-brainer for a Division I at the next level that's going to have a chance to make a difference pretty early in his career in a time where freshmen don't typically see the field. Shank is ready to go. Nolan Taylor, it's all the projection you could ever want. It's a physical body who's going to be able to hold velo, 6'4". He's going to start game 3 for Colorado for those schools who are going to want to sit and watch him. Should be sitting in the low 90s. Again, a little bit like Robinson, where it's the frontline starter you're looking for out of a high school kid right now. Should be really exciting.
Kansas also bringing its top-ranked player, Luke McKenna, out of Shawnee Mission South. 6'6", 205 pounds, fastball up to 93, a chase-inducing slider. He's number 157 nationally, and it seems the expectation is that William Pepper, the state's #3 player, who has a real 5-tool skill set, could be worthy of a national ranking of his own by the time the Future Games are over.
That's 100% right. Luke McKenna is one of those guys. You see a couple arms every year out of Kansas, get some draft buzz. Luke is ahead of where most of those guys have been at the same time. So it's a wild thing to say sometimes that Luke may be one of the best pitching prospects to come out of Kansas in a while. He's on track for it. He really is. He just keeps getting better and better in the frame. Obviously, he's not going to slow him down. The arm knows how to work. He's a competitor, throws a ton of strikes in game. I'm really excited for the world to get to see Luke McKenna this week. And then William Pepper, he's going to stay on the left side of the infield, which is always really exciting. When you've got a physical body that has the hands and feet that you know is going to have a real chance to play short as a physical shortstop, he's a producer too. So, again, tools with production. He competes. He's shown the ability to square up some of the best arms in the country this summer. So I'm excited for him to get the chance to shine.
On to Missouri, where the number 2 and 3 player will be on display. Cameron Gillespie and Crew Patrick, 2 players within the top 90 nationally. Gillespie runs a 6'8" with a 96.4 EV. Patrick pushing EVs to nearly triple digits with a 6'6", 160 and a 93 infield arm. I mean, these guys should draw plenty of attention.
Gillespie is what you want it to look like. It is all the actions, all the movements. He thinks the game, knows the game. The defense is elite. It's not unimaginable to think of Cameron Gillespie going in the top 3 rounds, top 2 rounds at the end of the day. That's what the market kind of thinks of him right now. Crew Patrick, you don't need to dream on anything. He's already doing it. So it's a guy who can play in the outfield, in the infield. On the mound, he's going to get up and be 88, 91 and throw a bunch of strikes. There's not a whole lot on the baseball field Crew can't do right now. And again, you don't have to dream on it. He's doing it right now. So those 2 guys, for different reasons, are extremely exciting for Team Missouri.
Finally, we hit Oklahoma, where switch-hitting shortstop Bradley Hastings, the state's number 1 player, checking every box. EV's up to 102.3, 80.9 bats per, runs a 6'8", and he hops on the bump and runs it up to 90.4. Then there's Aiden Hendren, Oklahoma's 3rd-ranked player, heater up to 91.7, a vicious slider, and he's doing it from a 3/4 slot.
So what you always get out of Oklahoma players at this event are a bunch of really polished players, guys that are playing the game well beyond their years, which is no surprise that Oklahoma has more big leaguers per capita than any state in the country. And these guys fit that mold. They're polished players. They're ready to go. Bradley knows what he's doing and has the tools behind him. We should see him commit pretty quick after the future games. And then you get to Aiden. Aiden's, again, another workhorse physical guy on the mound that actually knows how to pitch and command. It'll be fun to watch him navigate some of these lineups here at the future games because it's just so well beyond his years.
The Central region poised to open some eyes for those hundreds of college coaches in attendance. Aiden, great stuff. Excited to see you soon at LakePoint.
Thanks, Cory.
Hope you're enjoying all of our coverage so far of the Future Games Workout Day Part 2 for us. We already logged a couple hours earlier. Been joined by so many players, scouting directors so far, so many more to come. I want to get back to our Road to the Future Games series. I was joined by David Sharp out of Prep Baseball, Alabama. He's also the Deep South scouting supervisor, oversees Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, and Mississippi. This event is in their backyard, and those guys looking to defend home turf. Here's David and I going through these teams, players to watch on the Road to the Future Games. The Road to the Future Games is heading down south to the land of the Pines, where we welcome in Deep South Supervisor David Sharp. David, good to see you.
Great to see you. Appreciate you having me on. Ton of excitement, less than 2 weeks away, and get the Future Games cranked up, man. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it all goes down July 22nd through 25th at LakePoint Sports. And David, there's some defending the turf here for you in the states as you oversee Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee. And there's defining a standard. 2 of the last 3 most valuable pitchers have come from your states. Tell me about the pride, not only in the performance of your own state, Alabama, but in the Deep South showing, you guys, year after year, have got some dudes.
Yeah, the realization of this event is just getting these players in front of the 400 plus college coaches that will be in attendance. That's what this is about. But anytime a competitor steps on the field, the competitive juices get flowing. You want to win. Winning and losing here is not important. It's about showing what you've got. But these players, there are some very good players in the South, just like there are in other areas of the country. And every team that comes is bringing the best from their state. So I just think it's a competitive nature where you get going and you want to end up on the right side of the scoreboard, I guess you can say. But we're looking forward to bringing these states bringing some immense talent again this year.
I'm not going to name names. I know some state directors are keeping records in their head-to-head. So I'm just saying. All right, let's start off. Let's start off in your neck of the woods. And Alabama is anchored by one of the most dynamic corner infielders in the country, Hunter Elmore out of American Christian Academy, 6'1", 206 pounds, the top-ranked player in Alabama, the nation's #1 first baseman. This guy is a beast at the plate. EVs into triple digits, bat speed at 74.3. David, this is a physical power bat that should put on a show.
100%, man. We love Hunter Elmore. He's been #2 in our state behind Hudson Oliver, and Hudson will be on our Future Games team as well. Both those guys, it could be 1A, 1B, but man, Hunter Elmore has just continued to solidify his prospect status moving forward. He's changed his body over the last couple of years, which has just added more physicality to him. But you're right, man. He can bang it to all parts of the yard. He was our Prep Baseball Player of the Year in Alabama this year as a sophomore, and that doesn't usually happen. And, there were some very good upperclassmen here in the state, but Hunter's numbers, I think he hit 510 with like 19 doubles, 13 home runs. Listen, and I think one of the big things for Hunter is, for a while, I think he was pigeonholed there at first base. Well, he has now changed his body, added some athleticism to his frame, and he actually played some middle infield for American Christian this year at second base and can play third. So I think he's opened up some avenues for him being able to, move away from first. He also doubles as an arm, upper 80s for American Christian. So, he is an immense talent, and the bat absolutely plays for him. There's no doubt about it.
Florida gives us Cohen Poplin from that powerhouse Venice program, the nation's 3rd-ranked right-hander, #1 at the position in the Sunshine State. There's a lot to like here. 4-pitch mix, fastball into the 90s. That slider's got over 2,600 spin. This guy has been battle-tested in Florida, and no doubt he's ready for the Future Game spotlight.
Yeah, man, Poplin's been up to 95. I think he's the #3 right-handed pitcher all across the country. Really, he's a fluid mover, attacks the strike zone with 3 different pitch shapes. And a lot of times you get those guys that throw 90s, mid 90s, and, you look and, command could be an issue. That's not an issue with him. Pinpoint command. He's always performed well in big time matchups. And as we know, the atmosphere doesn't get any bigger than when you come to the future games. But, this past season in the state championship, we know Gio Rojas, he went toe to toe or blow to blow with him in the state championship game. But you mentioned that slider, upwards of 2,700 on the spin. Also, two distinctly different breaking balls. Features a curveball, upper 70s, low 80s with up to 2,800 on the spin. So going to be interesting to watch him. I know that Alabama plays Florida, so we may get a front row seat to see him. So yeah, but he's again, he's a prime time guy. Really performs his best when the moment's the biggest.
I'm obviously a little bit partial being here in Georgia, but I would argue that no squad is under more pressure at the future games than those Georgia boys. Everybody's stepping into your house. You want to defend your turf. And the Peach State has an arm that's absolutely up to the task. Right-hander Bryce Floyd got that deceptive three-quarter slot and a deep arsenal. And this is a guy who has lived that iron sharpens iron mentality, upping his game through his Holy Innocents teammate Amari Griffin, who used the same future game stage last year en route to a commitment to Georgia. I expect big things from Bryce Floyd.
Yeah, man, Bryce really finished the year, his high school season in the spring, really finished it in a big time manner. Won multiple win or go home games for them in the playoffs. They did make it to the private school state championship. Ultra competitive, upper 80s. You mentioned that deceptive lower, three-quarter slot there. And our scouting director, Hudson Graham, says he's got some of the best off-speed stuff in the class, which features a high-spin slider and a splitter that he is really confident in, and that he, it is obviously a swing and miss pitch for him, but he's not fearful to throw it in any count. So, we'll see how this event plays for him, much like his teammate last season.
Miracles can happen at the future games, and Louisiana is bringing one of their own, and Logan Miracle, 6'2", 185-pound lefty from Grace Christian, can absolutely deal. 190 strikeouts this past spring. He has done nothing but get better this summer, topping out at 91. The word is the breaking ball is getting better, and this is a prime example of a guy who may be under the radar, but the future games could very well change that.
You look at that body, 6'3", 190 from the left side. I think he's the number 18 ranked player in Louisiana, number 2 left-handed pitcher in the state. Listen, a college coach sees that walk on the mound, and that's you're going to get eyes on you right there, simply from that body, that frame. Throw him with the left, throw him with the left hand. You mentioned an uptick in velocity. He's been up to 91 this year. And the big thing about him is he averages about 7-foot extension off the mound. So that 6'3" actually plays up even a little bit more, and we know how important that extension is with the fastball. He may be, you mentioned it, he may be flying under the radar here, but there's no better place to fly under the radar and go make a big statement than what he's about to do in 2 weeks. So, yeah, Miracle has been, Alex Armand talked with him earlier today about him. He just loves him, raves about him, and he thinks he's going to be a real-time guy that blows up from the future games.
Bryce Pinkin's toolbox is beyond loaded. The Oxford, Mississippi two-way, the state's third-ranked player, pushing EVs north of 102, runs a 6'9", 87 infield velo, and he's into the high 80s on the mound. And if the last name sounds familiar, his brother Patton just made 20 starts as a freshman point guard at Ole Miss. Again, another guy who could take advantage of this stage.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at, we want to bring guys over there that is what the college coaches want to see. Well, you probably couldn't cookie cut anything more than Bryce. I mean, you mentioned it, 6'4", 225, still running under, a sub 760. There's juice there, the genes. Obviously, you talked about his brother at Ole Miss starting point guard. Outfielder, first baseman, also arm. He's an arm, much like, we talked earlier about Hunter Elmore doubling as an arm. He'll jump on the mound as well, be upper 80s, and there's probably more to come there. Matt Miller raves about his power, the power off the bat. and we talk much like with Miracle, you're 6'3", 200 pounds, close to 200 pounds, and you jump out on the mound left-handed. Well, you're 6'4", 225. You step in the box. There's going to be eyes on him as well. So he's got a real chance. Got a real chance to blossom in 2 weeks there at LakePoint.
Finally, Tennessee bringing its top-ranked player to LakePoint and Brent Pasioric. Obviously, some really deep Major League bloodlines here. His brother Luke is a past future gamer. Brett's got the tools, though, to make a name for himself in front of those hundreds of college coaches. Near triple-digit EVs, 89 infield armors, a 6'7". This guy is going to command attention.
Yes, he is. There's no doubt about it. I think he was originally from Southern California. The thing about him, switch hitting shortstop, that obviously that'll catch eyes. But I tell you what else is very weird, which is another little nugget for him is he's an ambidextrous arm as well. And in high school, he has started games from both sides as a left-handed arm and as a right-handed arm. That's really interesting. Obviously, the athleticism, the family tree, speaks for itself. This past season, I believe he was perfect stolen bases. He was 30 for 30 in the high school season. Listen, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that's a guy that can run. But, just because you can run fast doesn't mean you're a great base stealer or a base runner. And obviously the genes are there. Pasioric is, again, he's the number 1 ranked player in Tennessee for a reason. But I just thought that was really weird that he's ambidextrous, can go from both sides of the mound and has done that in high school. But, all these guys we talked about, I think it just speaks to the magnitude of this event because the Deep South states, we're no different than the other states. They're going to bring big time guys as well. And that's why it's the premier event in the country to be at.
Well, it is clear the South is going to have something to say at these feature games. David, great stuff. Cannot wait to see you back here at LakePoint Sports.
Thanks for having me on. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you, sir.
The success of every athlete depends on their instincts and split-second decision-making skills. S2 Cognition delivers the leading digital evaluation that is scientifically validated to measure these cognitive abilities that have been unquantifiable until now. The S2 eval is designed to analyze how athletes see, think, and react to in-game split-second decisions. So how does S2 work? The S2 eval is a 30 to 45-minute sports-specific digital evaluation that measures an athlete's cognitive skills and instincts. The eval is uniquely designed for each sport to capture the split-second decisions made in the game. The S2 score report is automatically generated after the eval, with data that provides a complete picture of the athlete's cognitive skills. These results will unlock opportunities for athletes, coaches, athletic directors, scouts, and general managers. It's time to know your game so that you can build to win.
There's nothing more important for your organization than the look and functionality of where your team spends most of their time. Here at Netting Pros and Stadionic, we create iconic facilities that exceed industry standards and become the headline of your organization. We've worked with dozens of the top leagues, collegiate programs, and professional baseball organizations.
We are here at Clemson University to build our second baseball field on a football field.
And having that partner with Netting Pros to be able to look at that and say, how can we make this happen that can be great for fans, great for the experience, and they nailed it.
We have customized solutions for whatever your needs may be to help every aspect of your project, bringing facilities to life.
You got to make sure that we're having the top premier product. We want the best for our guys.
Without great partnerships and collaboration with Netting Pros, we wouldn't be able to pull this off.
We're confident that your venue will stand above the rest and your vision for the future will be made into a reality.
At First Form, we help real people earn real long-term results. It doesn't matter if you're working out at home, you just started in the gym, or you're competing in the largest arenas around the world. Our full line of nutritional supplements are second to none and designed to fuel your journey every step of the way. With our industry-leading 110% money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Visit firstform.com today and let us help you reach your goals.
Congratulations, Mom and Dad. Your life now revolves around sports.
Everett, Neela!
But you wouldn't trade it for anything. Welcome to Sporthood. DSG, only at Dick's. Congratulations, Mom and Dad. Your life now revolves around sports. Well, you wouldn't trade it for anything. Welcome to Sporthood. DSG, only at Dick's.
We're back now live in studio. Kai Watanabe, the 4th-ranked catcher in the nation, 65th overall in the class of 2028. Here at the Future Games. Kai, man, appreciate you doing this.
Thank you for having me.
You ran a 6.84 today, down from a 6.96. Did you have any goals in mind when you came down here in terms of what that 60 was going to be?
It was kind of just get faster than last time, and then because the last one I ran was in Oregon at the Super Sophomore Games. And I think that was like a 7. And I was like, I didn't want to be like 7. So.
You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the 7 guy. Well, clearly a 5-tool catcher, man. We talk about everything with you. The 96.5 EV, bat speed is 75.9. Of course, the pop time down to 185 with an 80 velo. Tell me what that means to you to be a 5-tool catcher, because we don't normally talk about, I mean, you be a great receiver. You can obviously call a good game. To be able to do all those things, what's that mean to you?
It's just I guess honor, you could say, like just being able to have all those tools and being able to pull off that kind of stuff.
I remember back to the 2024 Junior Feature Games, and I heard these rumbles down on those south fields about this Hawaii catcher going down the 185 pop time. Just people were marveling at what you're able to do. Tell me about now being back here and doing it at the Future Games after being back here and opening so many eyes a few years ago.
Yeah, it's just I guess, honor, you could say, just getting invited to both the junior ones and then the Future Games. So like when I was junior games, the junior Future Games, kind of got to come on this side more and then like watch the Future Games and then kind of use that as motivation. Like, I want to be back to the Future Games and play on like in front of all those scouts.
Yeah, I think that's an underrated part of it, right? So they get you guys here and they let you see that side and you're like, I want that. And so now you're here and you get to experience it. I also go back to 2024 because even back then, they were talking about you being the next great Hawaii catcher since Kurt Suzuki. That's a lot to put on somebody that age. What did that mean to you and how have you kind of used that as motivation?
Honestly, I didn't really know about that.
You didn't know about that?
No.
I mean, actually, I could pull up the article. They were writing that about you back in 2024, that you were the next great Hawaii catcher since Kurt Suzuki.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay, so tell me about what does that mean to you to hear that?
I guess it's just a like honor, you could say, or just be this grateful that hard work pays off.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
Tell me who's kind of been those role models for you as a catcher. Who have you looked towards? Who have you kind of modeled the game after?
Adley Rutschman was one of them.
Ooh,
when
okay.
I would see like his college highlights and stuff, and then I watched those Patrick Bailey videos, the San Francisco Giant on like his training routine, and then try to just incorporate some of that stuff, and then just learn off them.
Are you a one knee down guy? Are you a traditional setup? What kind of a catcher are you?
I go one knee when nobody's on, but then when someone's on, I go to traditional, and then when the ball's coming, I drop my left knee.
How low have you gotten on the pop time with one knee down? Like not when showcase. Like how low have you seen the number? So Xavier Rodriguez, the number one catcher in the nation in 29s, told me he's gotten down to a 178 with the one knee down. Could you do that? Maybe we'll see. We'll see. That's a pretty low number. So 50 players have made the MLB out of Hawaii. 5 with Hawaii ties just got drafted this month.
Yeah.
Tell me about the path to a baseball journey coming from Hawaii. For those of us that don't understand it, how difficult is this?
I would say it's kind of difficult because like being from the islands, you don't get as much like exposure as being on the mainland, and the facility, and you don't have like access as much facilities or like things that some mainland people would have.
And you guys have to leave for like the whole summer to go play these big events. Yeah. What is that experience like for you to be away from home for so long to go play baseball?
It's fun, but it's also like kind of tiring, but you make memories out of it.
What do you miss most this time of year?
Probably the beach.
Yeah. Not your bed. You miss the beach because there's no beaches. There is a beach here locally around LakePoint, but you don't want to go there. You would laugh at it being from Hawaii. You would be like, that is not a beach. That's like someone's backyard with some sand and some.
Oh.
Yeah. It's very, very sad. All right, Kai Watanabe, you're doing really well so far, but this is when we're gonna ratchet it up. We're gonna play a little random questions. Let's roll in the intro, producer Maddie. All right, Kai, the way this is gonna work, I need you to pick 3 numbers, 1 through 100.
We'll go 7.
All right.
33 and 86.
All right. Do those numbers mean anything, or are you just randomly selecting numbers?
Or the 7 was my number I used in high school.
Okay.
But the rest were just random.
All right. Okay. These questions were not created by me. These are from AI. So I'm not responsible for what you're going to have, but they're baseball related questions. All right. So number 7, what's the worst baseball haircut? I told you these are random. Some guys will have like the mullets. Some guys will do like they dye their hair blonde. That's like a big thing here in Georgia.
That's what teams do like for like the postseason in high school.
Did you have to do that?
I did highlights only. I didn't
go all in.
No, I was not. I wasn't gonna do the full.
Well, I feel like that's got to be the bad one then, because if you're not willing to go full in on it, you say that's not for me.
I guess you could say that.
Yeah, I have to. I think if you're better off going the boy band look than trying to go the full blonde. I think you made the right choice. All right, we'll chalk that as number 7. All right, number 33. What's more embarrassing? And this is a good one, I think, for a catcher: dropping a pop fly or forgetting signs.
Ooh. Honestly, I think like forgetting the signs, like for offense or the defense.
You could say either way. I mean, being a catcher.
I mean, I feel like offense, if you forget the signs, it's kind of like important because like you had to play on and then you missed it. So then now it's like, oh, either you messed up your batter, your teammate hitting, or you just like the coaches, you just couldn't. So his whole plan got ruined.
Yeah.
And then I guess catching wise, forgetting the signs is kind of hard because if you're expecting a certain pitch to come in,
that's trouble right there. So, but the pop fly thing, as a catcher, when that ball goes up and you're trailing back, how hard is that?
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah. We're all just like, it's a pop up, but it's
just the spin and everything.
Yeah, we don't understand how hard you've got it. All right, last one, number 86. What's the worst roommate habit anyone can have? So when you're traveling, and this is a good one for you because you're spending so much time away from home right now. You're sharing a room with someone. What's the worst habit that a roommate can have? A baseball teammate. What's the worst habit?
I feel like just like leaving all the dirty clothes just all over the place. Because then I'm just gonna stink up the room and then just make it just like a fun thing to just relax in.
You know what this is doing? This is preparing you to be a father. Because someday you're going to have a kid and you're going to be like, clean up. I've experienced this. Yeah. And your dad's probably say the same thing sitting over there. Learn to clean up after yourself. So you're on board with that now. You've got it. You're prepared. This is you're turning into a man on the road and you just don't realize it yet. All right, Kai Watanabe, man, great stuff. Best of luck at future games, man. I appreciate it. We're going to take a break.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, man. We're going to take a break in studio. We'll be right back.
The success of every athlete depends on their instincts and split-second decision-making skills. S2 Cognition delivers the leading digital evaluation that is scientifically validated to measure these cognitive abilities that have been unquantifiable until now. The S2 eval is designed to analyze how athletes see, think, and react to in-game split-second decisions. So how does S2 work? The S2 eval is a 30 to 45-minute sports-specific digital evaluation that measures an athlete's cognitive skills and instincts. The eval is uniquely designed for each sport to capture the split-second decisions made in the game. The S2 score report is automatically generated after the eval, with data that provides a complete picture of the athlete's cognitive skills. These results will unlock opportunities for athletes, coaches, athletic directors, scouts, and general managers. It's time to know your game so that you can build to win.
There's nothing more important for your organization than the look and functionality of where your team spends most of their time. Here at Netting Pros and Stadionic, we create iconic facilities that exceed industry standards and become the headline of your organization. We've worked with dozens of the top leagues, collegiate programs, and professional baseball organizations.
We are here at Clemson University to build our second baseball field on a football field.
And having that partner with Netting Pros to be able to look at that and say, how can we make this happen that can be great for fans, great for the experience, and they nailed it.
We have customized solutions for whatever your needs may be to help every aspect of your project, bringing facilities to life.
You got to make sure that we're having the top premier product. We want the best for our guys.
Without great partnerships and collaboration with Netting Pros, we wouldn't be able to pull this off.
We're confident that your venue will stand above the rest and your vision for the future will be made into a reality.
If anything that we're doing here during our Future Games Watch Party, it's we're being cohesive. So we had an early interview where we ran into a Road to the Future Games, and we had a second interview we ran into a correlating Road to the Future Games. I just had Kai Watanabe in here, and now I've got West Coast Supervisor Brett Harrison in here, overseeing Hawaii along with Arizona, Nevada, and Utah. That kid is something else.
No, honestly, it's super cool to see how humble these guys are. I mean, I was getting to enjoy the interview as well in here in the new studio, and it's just super cool to see. I mean, they're so grateful for these experiences and getting to come out here and really show off what they can do. They absolutely make the most of it every time they're out here. So, I mean, it really is awesome.
You got to see sort of that difference between those guys. Obviously, you're Nevada guys. You got Bishop Gorman. Those guys are used to attention.
Yeah.
To have those, and then you got to see them running the gambit with all the kids you're bringing here from the different states.
No, honestly, it's just super exciting. It really is getting to see all the guys from the territory in one spot, put some faces to some names that our guys have been talking about. Just honestly, really excited for more of the gameplay stuff. Obviously, today is guys getting after, but I think a lot of players really show what they're made of over the next few days here. So getting to go head to head amongst the states is definitely something we look forward to doing.
You've got the Nevada team anyway, Utah on Thursday, Hawaii on Friday, and Arizona on Saturday. You and I spent a lot of time on the Road to the Future Games video talking about all the states you oversee. I want to dig a little bit deeper into Nevada here, although you're rocking the Hawaii hat right now, so I don't know but you've got the multiple hats, so what we could do is you could just kind of go back and forth with the hats.
The Nevada hat's in the backpack right there. We were talking to the Hawaii boys, so I had to throw the Hawaii hat back on.
All right, well, you've got 2 players in national rankings coming from Nevada. 9 of the top 10 players in the class are all here. How crazy is that for you to see that number, 9 of the top 10? Because that wasn't happening a couple years ago.
Absolutely, no, it's really kind of taken hold in Nevada. Honestly, just super excited to have our top guys here. I think it's a huge honor for these guys to be here and represent Nevada, and I make sure they also know that it's their responsibility to bring back all this positive attention to our guys in Nevada. And not just how they kind of handle themselves on the field, but also how they handle themselves off the field, at the hotel, on the airplane, right? So much goes into it. And like I said, it's a huge responsibility for these guys to not only perform here, but to also bring back that positive kind of vibe on all of our players to Nevada.
Number 1 player in the state, Noah Knudsen, obviously here, Terrell Otis. Number 2, Austin Rodriguez. Number 3, you and I talked about Knudsen and Rodriguez on the Road to the Future Games video. Dig a little bit into Terrell Otis here before we had a Centennial guy with pop times down to 186, 76 velo, EV of 96.5, bat speed of 76 at 6 foot, 203 pounds. That's a tooled up catcher.
He's a physical kid, absolutely amazing kid as well. The family's awesome, super supportive. Obviously, they're at every game. They're right behind home plate. He's a kid that has really grown on me personally. He got a lot of time as a freshman. A guy went down at Centennial, so he got a lot of time early on. This year, their catcher went down, so he went behind the plate and has absolutely shined behind the plate. He actually caught Jake Turner, our All-American, that I'm pretty sure fairly knowledgeable of, obviously, friendly with, and he did a great job. Right, Jake's up to 96, 97 now, and he handled it really with no issue. And I mean, the positivity, I think these guys can can really kind of get overwhelmed by the moment, but he seems to really relish in these types of moments where his number's called and he's a yes sir and gets it done type of kid. So super excited to see him kind of show off on the national stage here.
Number 4 player in the state, number 1 ranked right-hander, Derek Wenzel out of Basic Academy. Basic Academy is almost like that environment has just built these kids. I mean, you've been on the south of scenes, and it just keeps coming out on and on out of that place.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a guy that also, I mean, just really gravitated towards. You can kind of banter with these guys, see which ones are maybe a little bit more mature and can hold a conversation, and which ones kind of shy away. And he's a guy that I know me and him could have some fun. And honestly, he's going to start on game 3 for us, right, on Saturday. So getting to see him really compete, I think that Arizona group is going to be an incredible test for him. And that's why I wanted to stack him up in that game, because that's where I think he's really going to be able to shine if he does what he has been doing kind of all year for Basic.
Well, you're following him up with Connor McDonald, and you talk about an arsenal. I mean, the fastball's up to 86.1, the changeup 73-74, curveball 70-74, and a slider 73-75. But he has 2,000 RPM spin on everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably our most polished arm we have in the state. Still a string bean. I mean,
6'1", 180, 158. Yeah,
6'1", 158. I think that's on a good day too. He might have had some coins in his back pocket when he was getting weighed. But the stuff is real. He's got the pitch ability. He understands how to throw each of his pitches. That's something we're kind of seeing the players transition, right, from being good athletes to being good baseball players. And he's probably a guy who's just a little bit more ahead of everybody, not so much as rigid in all the actions that he has. He really stays within his game. He's not an overthrower. Works off the changeup. He's got a little cutter, I believe, in there too. But he's a guy this year as a sophomore got his number called in just about every big game, I feel like, for Palo Verde. And he's going to end up being another one that obviously follows up Derek. And it's just going to be awesome to see those guys go back to back. I think that really would be every high school coach in Nevada's dream to have those guys going 1-2 in a game. So very excited and lucky to honestly have them out here for this.
So who are we not talking about? We've talked about the top 5 guys. You know, who are those guys that maybe you think people are going to be talking about when they leave future games?
I mean, we do have a few guys. It's honestly a really exciting group. It's a really scrappy group, right? It's not a group I think that's going to be putting up just massive numbers during the workout. There are guys that can do that, but I think it's a group that, like, once they watch that first game, they go, okay, that guy got on base a couple times. They're going to see guys shoot. We got Jackson Burr. He's a guy who just kind of has bursted onto the scene with us over this last year. He came to our event last fall, smaller kid, and just kind of physically kept coming along. He's going to end up being a really good player. I mean, he's 5'8", 5'9". He plays like he's 6'5". So he's one of those guys that I'm honestly super excited to see. Easton Lake has had a great workout today. I believe he ran a 6'6".
Cool. Okay.
And then we got Jamison Day. Jamison Day is probably one of our cleanest infielders we got in the state. He's had a great year. He got kind of thrusted into the leadoff role for Faith Lutheran this year as a sophomore, which that's no small task when you're hitting around that stacked lineup that they had, and him getting his number called and really honestly performing extremely well. I was pumped to see it, and obviously he's another guy that I think this could be his coming out party this week for us.
Utah on Thursday, as I mentioned, Hawaii on Friday, Arizona on Saturday. Do you have any gentlemanly bets with anybody on any of these games? I mean, the thing is that you're overseeing all these guys.
Yeah. So it's more bragging rights than anything. It's I think the bragging rights are kind of what carries the most weight with this group. We're all very competitive with each other, which I think is a great way to be. But mostly bragging rights. Maybe who's cooking dinner, who has to take out the trash at the Airbnb, that type of thing. But we try to keep it pretty friendly for the most part. But the bragging rights, I mean, it's a year's worth of bragging rights. So that carries a lot of weight once you get past like a round of golf or this or that. So
well, I'll put it out there that since you have so many hats, that if any of these guys beat you poorly, you have to wear their hats every day for the rest until the next feature games.
I love that. I love that. I might get some funny looks wearing maybe a Utah hat in Vegas or in Reno or in Hawaii, but I actually think that's a great idea.
There you go.
That is a great idea.
Yeah, making memories. All right, how many feature games is this for you?
Started in 2019, so I think 2020 was my first group. So this is number, 6 or 7?
Okay, yeah. Tell me about how the conversation has changed. When you were reaching out to guys back then, as opposed to now, how much easier is it to get a guy to come down here to Emerson, Georgia than it was back then?
I mean, what we're kind of seeing, and it honestly is super cool, is the high school coaches are really buying in, the club coaches are buying in, and groups are now kind of crafting and building their summers really around this event. It's just kind of taken on a life of its own. It's some of what we've been able to do in Nevada, but a lot of what the company's done in making this such a can't miss event. I mean, the event speaks for itself. You walk out the door right here, and there's 300 coaches standing around. It's a place that everyone wants to be, and everyone wants their kids to succeed. Their players, their kids, everyone. And if they can come to this event, I mean, it's like I said, it's a can't miss event for these guys. And just for us personally, I think we're at a 100% success rate. Besides an injury for a kid that dropped, we're at about 100% success rate at this point for kids making it out to this event. So,
well, fantastic stuff. I cannot wait to see your guys in action. Brett Harrison, man, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Good to see you, man. Take a break in studio. We'll wrap things up from our Future Games Workout Day Watch Party.
The success of every athlete depends on their instincts and split-second decision-making skills. S2 Cognition delivers the leading digital evaluation that is scientifically validated to measure these cognitive abilities that have been unquantifiable until now. The S2 eval is designed to analyze how athletes see, think, and react to in-game split-second decisions. So how does S2 work? The S2 eval is a 30 to 45-minute sports-specific digital evaluation that measures an athlete's cognitive skills and instincts. The eval is uniquely designed for each sport to capture the split-second decisions made in the game. The S2 score report is automatically generated after the eval, with data that provides a complete picture of the athlete's cognitive skills. These results will unlock opportunities for athletes, coaches, athletic directors, scouts, and general managers. It's time to know your game so that you can build to win.
Great day here at the Future Games, our workout day watch party. Appreciate everybody stopping by, spending some time with us. Scouting directors, players, been a absolute fantastic time for us across our 2 workout day windows. We'll be back tomorrow, get our game of the days underway. Ohio versus Michigan at 8:30 p.m. and then we'll be back Friday, Canada versus Maryland. Saturday is Indiana versus Missouri. It says 11:30, but I can now update that. There's going to be a noon game on Saturday, but if you come here and stick around 11:30, maybe we'll have some pregame stuff for you that day. Sunday, it's the Junior Future Games Championship game, and that will wrap up our coverage from here at LakePoint Sports. Been a great time again here. We appreciate everybody stopping by, joining us here in studio. We will be back tomorrow, so make sure you join us for the beginning of our game of the day. I'm from Ohio, so I'm a little bit vested in this one. It's best rivalry in the nation, Ohio versus Michigan, and we will bring you the baseball version of that tomorrow, the Future Games version of that. So until next time, for producer Maddie Bullock and the host of guests that we've had here, this has been Cory McCartney. And for now, we're signing off from the Future Games and signing off from LakePoint Sports.